So this entire morning, I was sitting down, waiting. Let me zoom in for you guys a little bit, and then I'll remember to zoom out because I always fucking forget. I was waiting all day for this order to come through, and it finally delivered like an hour ago, but I just checked now, so I'm gonna go outside. We're gonna see. It's here. Boom. All right, I'm bringing this inside. It's not a heavy box, but what is inside is truly beautiful. Boom. Wagyu shop. This is honestly a nice box. I'm surprised that whoever delivered this to me didn't just like steal it. Like if I even knew like what this was even slightly, I probably would have just taken it. But thank you to the UPS driver or USPS driver who did not steal this from me, because I am so excited for what's about to be revealed from this box. And I know Dean is too. So, for those of you who have followed my Instagram, which I assume are many of you because otherwise you wouldn't be following this channel, although this is going to be a steak video only, so maybe I'll attract a different crowd. So, I'm going to say it anyway. For those of you who have been following my Instagram, a couple days ago, before Christmas, I said I'm going to get Dean, my brother, his first Wagyu steaks. Dean is a huge meat eater, just like me, and probably is more inclined to eat even like weirder, odder meats from different animals, weird organs, whatever. I don't know. He has never had Wagyu in his entire life, and this is an experience I really wanted to give him. I've cooked him a bunch of steaks, which he has said are the best steaks he's ever had, but I know that this is going to top all of that. So, for those of you who don't know what Wagyu is the Japanese word for beef cattle. And I love this tripod, guys. You know, it's really suited for a lens that weighs like less than a fucking half pound. But anyway, all right, take two. So, Wagyu is the Japanese word for beef cattle. I'm gonna open this box up real quick and show you guys what the deal is. So, it's a Japanese word for beef cattle, and the reason that these steaks are very different from anything that we eat here in the United States or pretty much anywhere else around the world besides Japan is that these prefectures that raise the cows put an intense amount of time and care into making sure that these cows get as much intramuscular fat or marbling as they possibly can. So what I'm looking at right now are the certificates of authenticity. With every piece of Wagyu that you purchase, if it's real, if it's from Japan, you get its birth certificate, essentially, which is kind of morbid, but kind of cool. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is a certificate of authenticity for one of the pieces that came from one of the cows. It has like the name, the paternal name, maternal name, the carcass weight, its nose print right there in the middle with those black spots. So there are two of them because there are two different steaks from two different cows. And it's pretty cool that you get to keep these. Like, they're nicely laminated. You can hang them up. They're on a nice piece of paper. I think here they have like their marbling scores and the evaluations. So another thing about Wagyu is that it has grades, and there are two different ways of measuring this, which they actually gave you a pretty cool guide for, but there are different categories for how they rate these cows and these pieces of meat. So there's an ABC ranking, with A being the highest, which is basically a measurement of yield, and then BMS, which is the marbling score, and that goes up to 12. So if you're like a marbling score of like 10 to 12, that's like crazy marble. But anything above an 8 is considered A5. So A5 is the highest ranking or highest rating of Wagyu beef. And I think these here are like the two cows like evaluations. These are the test scores that they received. And now what I'm gonna do, since we've looked at all the wonderful paperwork, is I'm gonna open this dry ice bucket. Oh my God. And show you guys the steaks. Holy shit. So, one of these is way more marbled than the other. These are both ribeyes, which I'm not complaining about, but I know that the picture showed a ribeye and a strip, which is fine. Ribeye, in my opinion, is the best piece of steak. I know Dean's favorite piece is the ribeye. One of these is more marbled than the other, but they're both insanely marbled. I would say one is probably like a BMS of like 8, and the other is probably like an 11. So this is what I would probably call an 8. So this is definitely a 5 right here. Bring you into a better light. That's a 5, probably marbling score of 8, and then this is a 5, probably marbling score of like 11 or 12. This is gonna be insane. Dean, come look at these. So this is my brother. Hello. Say hi to the camera. Hello, hello.
Hello, camera.
This is the brother of mine who is receiving these beautiful steaks for Christmas. And which one do you want to eat today?
I want to eat this one.
So he's going to have the less marbled one today, a smart choice. This will easily be the best piece of steak he's ever eaten in his entire life. And then this is going to blow it out of the water, which is absurd to say. I've had a lot of Wagyu in my life. I've had authentic Kobe very recently, which is absolutely just mind-boggling. But Miyazaki Wagyu, which is where this is from, is a prefecture that yields like the best of the best Wagyu there is, aside from Kobe. Are you excited, Dean? Because I'm excited. I'm not even eating any of this, and
I'm pretty excited, but I feel my aorta tensing up a bit.
We are both gonna have quadruple bypasses, and I'm the only one eating it, or Dean's the only one eating it. So I guess I don't know. There's like so. Those of you who count macros or are like familiar, these are like 75% fat by weight. So like this steak right here is probably like 140 grams of fat. 140 grams of fat. 140 grams of fat. You are going to die. All right, so I'm going to charge my camera up because I'm losing battery. I'm going to wait for these to defrost, and then what I'm going to do is show you guys how I'm going to cook them, which is really, really easy to do because the cattle farmers did all of the work to make those the beautiful pieces of meat they are. I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, guys, just got back from the gym. Dean, are you ready for me to start cooking this steak? All right, so let's set this up right here. I'll show you guys this piece of meat real quick. So I've been letting it sit at room temp. It has a little bit of water coming out of it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna pat it dry a little bit. I'm gonna put it on a new plate. Dry it off. And the difference between, this thing literally feels like a piece of butter. It doesn't even feel like meat. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's literally just like melting on my hands. This is sick. Unlike other pieces of steak, it does not need a lot of salt or a lot of, or any oil really, because of just how much marbling there is and how much flavor you get from the fat itself. So I'm gonna leave it like that. This is what it looks like before we cook it. So that is the A5 Wagyu ribeye. And then what I'm gonna do here is there was this piece of fat on the end of the ribeye, and since there's already so much fat in it, there's no sense in eating this big piece of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this to coat the pan. Not that you're gonna need it, honestly. This steak is so marbled that when you just put it on the pan with nothing on it whatsoever, it's gonna start to just render down all of that fat, and it's gonna be enough to coat the pan and make a nice sear. So all I need is a tiny, tiny bit of salt. Really not much at all compared to what I would put on a normal piece of meat. Just gonna do both sides with salt. Dean, do you want pepper?
Yes.
All right, we're going salt and pepper. I'm like so surgical right now with this. I do not want to fuck this piece of meat up right now. All right, gonna flip it and do the same on this side. Dean, can you grab the camera for me?
Yes.
Yeah, you wanna zoom in on this. Show the people what they want to see. Is it focused?
It is focused.
Is there a shadow?
There is a shadow here.
Well, get rid of the shadow.
I don't know how to do that.
Does it look like shit, or are we good?
Looks pretty good.
Alright, so that's the salt. We're gonna put some coarse pepper on there. And it'll be pretty much ready to go. good for that side. We're good on that side. Guys, it's beautiful. Dean, are you filming me?
I was filming the steak.
This is beautiful right now. All right, so bringing it over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this stainless steel, not cast iron. We're going to use stainless steel. Like I said, it sears really, really nicely, and we don't really need any cast iron to crust it because it's going to do its thing on this stainless steel. So we're going to have that piece of fat cook over there. Let it coat the pan. Come back to me. And then we're going to cook this piece of steak. I'm so excited. I'm not even eating it. Get in there. All right. This beautiful piece of meat is going on. We're going to leave it searing for about 90 seconds per side. Since Dean doesn't know how to work the camera, we're going to do a father-son Kamehameha right here. I'm going to take this from him and show you guys. Like I said, the steak is 99% of the way perfect when it gets to you. It's just your job not to fuck it up. Hold this for me, and then I'm going to, when I'm ready to flip it, I'll let it do its thing a little longer. Do you smell that?
I smell it.
I wish you guys could smell this right now. This is absurd. I'm gonna give it another 20 seconds or so. Give it a little twirl around. And I think this beautiful piece of meat. Oh man. That is something. Let me get this. Zoom in on this. Pinnacle of beef, guys. You don't need to do much to it. Gonna give it another 40 seconds on this side. It's gonna be ready to eat. I have never in my life seen something so beautiful.
Woo! I swear to God. I swear to God.
That is gorgeous. I'm gonna bring it over to the table carefully. I'm gonna slide it on over. A5 Wagyu ribeye, probably a marbling score of 8 to 9. Just gonna set this up so we can get a little reaction. That's the knife we want to use for this. Dean,
Yes.
are you ready for your first
I'm as ready as I ever could be.
Wagyu steak of your life?
Where should I take the first bite?
Probably the cap. No, turn it around, dude. What are you doing? Cut it like that. Cut a piece off of it. No, off of here, like that.
Okay.
What? Don't cut like that. Cut along this.
Okay. Jesus. A good director?
Yes. Hold it up first. I want to see what the meat looks like on the inside. That's the money shot right there. All right, eat it.
I can see where the money went. I can see where all that money went. Hold on. Okay, wait. Because I tasted it, and now I like taste it here.
It just coats everything, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's the thing about like Wagyu beef and like really highly marbled food. It just like coats your entire palate, and you just feel this like film of fat just like put a layer inside of you, which is probably not the healthiest thing for your body. But
It doesn't feel healthy, but it feels delicious.
this is special. How
It's
is
very
it?
special. It's very, very, very good.
Is that the best piece of meat you've ever had in
That's
your
the
life?
best piece of meat I've ever had in my life. I can't speak because
So
there's food in it.
what I'm gonna do, because I have to try something of this. I'm gonna take a little piece off of the end, and I'm gonna. Oh my god.
Thank you very much for this generous gift
What?
of yours.
How does food taste like that? Alright. One more bite, and then I will let you enjoy this in peace.
Thank you.
How easy is it to cut, by the way?
I don't need a knife.
I would cut it with a spoon, honestly.
Really.
For everyone watching, I want you to turn into a food critic for about 20 seconds and tell me what you taste. What are you experiencing right now?
It's like if you had someone massage your tongue with just the most. The least viscous material on the planet. And then while it was doing that, it was just kissing you a lot. Some good steak.
Some good steak.
Some good steak.
So while Dean eats his gold standard of beef, to just zoom in on that marbleization again that he's eating with his rice now, per my suggestion, I am going to have the luxurious 99% lean ground turkey. There has never been, I don't think, two meats of such drastically different quality have ever been in two places at the same time. This is like dog chow, and this is like
The King's Diner.
Yeah. And eat it with some soggy sweet potatoes. It's gonna be fucking delicious. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching this steak video. Dean loved the Wagyu. The bite that I had was absolutely absurd. And tonight I'm going to be cooking that Marbling Score 11 Wagyu ribeye, which is probably going to blow the one that I had yesterday, that Dean had yesterday out of the water, which is absurd to say. For those of you guys watching who have never seen this channel before, this is Nala. I am at United Barbell, which is the gym that I train at. Nala's a pain in the ass, but we love her anyway. If there are any different steaks you would like to see me cook, I would be more than happy to buy them. And if there are any questions or interest you guys have in hearing about how to prepare steaks or whatever stuff like that, I don't know. I'm thinking about starting a separate channel for this altogether. I've been wanting to review steaks at certain restaurants in New York City because that's where I am. I'm based in New York, so we'll see. That's all I have for the video today, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video where we're gonna be eating steak.